Hi, my name is Mandy. I'm with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today our class is going to be on the KW Consumer App. And today's we're going to go over a lot of things, mainly it's showing you the benefits. This is going to let your consumer get involved with their own search. And it's going to let them have their own login to your app, just like they would to like a Zillow page or any other third party. But it also gives you Big Brother access. It lets you both be involved in the search for the consumer at the same time and add a ton of value to your consumer. So I'm going to go over all of that today. I also want to go over the difference that you're going to see in the apps. You know, you have a command app as well as a KW consumer app. So we're going to go over a couple of things like that today to make sure that you are fully aware what is available to you, what you can do from the app and from within your command as well, and what all that looks like. So if you are listening to this live here with us today, just know again, the recording for this will be on our YouTube channel within 24 hours. And if you have any questions, drop in the chat. If you are listening to this on a recording on YouTube and you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump in and get started here. We want to talk about the KW Consumer app, and the first thing we're going to do is show you how to download your app. There are multiple ways. We do feel like one way is a little bit better, more efficient, so I'm going to show you all three. The first is with your consumer app, you can go straight to the App Store on your mobile device. So can your consumers, and look for the KW app. This is the name that it's going to show under. Sorry, my Zoom went a little crazy. All right, here's the name it's going to show under. The main thing to pay attention to is it's a white background with a red KW, okay? The KW command app is going to be just the opposite. It's going to have a red background with white lettering. That is for you. It's has an agent login, and it is going to be just for you to get into your command account, right? Think of that as your back office. This app is the KW consumer app. It only has a consumer login. It is 100% consumer facing. It does not recognize you as an agent. There's not going to be agent options within the app at all. And if you create your own login for it, it's just going to see you as a consumer, which we actually recommend that you do. And I'm going to show you that in just a little bit. Okay. So if you go directly to your app store, this is what it's going to look like, or something similar, and you can download that app right there. And if you do it this way, you do need to brand this app to you, or your consumer would need to brand it for you so that you would be their agent, and it would in turn tie it to your command. I'm going to show you visually here just through photos really quick what it's going to look like on their end on a mobile device if they were to download this app right here. It's going to open that app for them. And if they choose the more option on the bottom right down here, on the bottom of their app screen, their mobile device screen, you will see that it says find a Keller Williams app, or find a Keller Williams agent, excuse me. And it gives them a button to find an agent. This is what it looks like when the app is unbranded. You may also be seeing this as an agent if you've just downloaded the app. It may not be branded to you if you got it directly from the App Store. So you can actually click that find an agent. It'll open up this screen. It'll let you search by name or by location. If I were to type in Taylor Grove, it starts populating options. So if you were to type in a location or an agent name, it should populate options right here. And you can choose whichever one you were looking for. We're looking for Taylor Grove, that's in Vancouver, Washington. So I would choose that option, and it opens the agent profile. On this agent profile, they will have a prompt at the bottom of the screen that says connect with in that agent's name. They can click that. It's going to ask them to confirm it. And once they confirm it, the top of this screen is going to change to your agent and have their agent's information and the screenshot. Again, we're under the more option on the app, KW Consumer Mobile app, under the more option, and they will see this if it is branded. This is a quick way. If you have any issues between you and your consumers, maybe you're not seeing their information populating command or something like that, but they're saying they're using the app. This is a quick way to ask them, hey, will you just check and make sure it's branded to me? Ask them to click on more, and they should see this right here at the tippy top. Okay. Great way to know that it is branded. For you as an agent, if you've downloaded your app, You've gone in here, chosen yourself as your agent. Now you have a branded app, and it's really super easy to share it right from here. So, this is the second way that someone would be able to get your app. You can scroll to the bottom of this page right here under the More option. Again, you'll see Share with KW app or Share the KW app. When you share this, your mobile device will prompt you. You know how it gives you a pop-up screen from the bottom and says you can either text, email, whichever your most common usage of communication is. It'll give you those options on your mobile device, whatever it is, depending if it's an Apple or an Android. And you can share from there. You can send it through text, send it through email, send it through a social platform, whatever you choose to do. So, again, just to recap, first option to get the app is to go straight to the App Store. Second way is the agent can share a branded app from your app and share it out this way as well. Okay. And then the third way, which is what we're going to really deep dive into because we feel like it's the most effective, you can use your own branded app URL. So you would find that in your command over on the left-hand side. We're going to go into the consumer tab right here at the bottom. If you hover, it says consumer. If you want to click the red KW at the top, it'll pop out the names for you, but you can click on consumer tab right there. And we'll give that just a second to open. All right. So right here, we want to click on Site and App Settings. I'll let you know your website at URL that gets asked about a lot is sitting right here in the middle of the page. I've already popped that out into another tab because if I haven't said this before, the KW Consumer app and your website are essentially one functioning machine, okay? The consumer logins that we're talking about today that I'm going to show you how to set up or that your consumer will set up, it will be the same for your website and for your KW consumer login. They can log into either place. The consumer app is geared more towards mobile devices, where your website obviously is geared, the view of it and things like that is geared more towards like a desktop. So the view that you'll be seeing me most use today is going to be from the website, but I'm going to be flipping back and forth to show you what it looks like on the screen from the mobile app and also the website. Okay. So we're going to go right in here to Site and App Settings, give that a click, and you'll notice we have a tab for URLs. If you click on URLs, your domain URL comes up, but right here at the bottom is your app URL. Now, while you can change your website URL, the app URL is static. This stays the same. It cannot be edited. It's what is assigned to you. Okay. So with this, if you are following along in command, or you happen to go look at this later and you happen to notice that maybe you have the first half of this, but you don't have the slug at the end, just FYI, it may just be that you're brand new and you're not going to see the tail end of that URL until it's completely built out for you. Sometimes it does take up to 2 weeks. This is on Keller Williams Regional International's end. This is something that they help do for you. And so it may just be that you're brand new. If you are more than 2 weeks old as a KW agent, then definitely reach out to us. It may be a technical glitch, and we can definitely look in to see what may be blocking that for you. Okay. Same if you don't see an app URL at all. If you're not seeing anything in this location, it may just mean that you're not set up as an agent with your office. Maybe you're an admin or an assistant of some type. And in that case, you're actually not issued a consumer facing app. Okay. If you feel like that's an error, again, reach out to us. We can definitely look into it for you. But as long as you are an agent in production, you should be seeing some app URL right here. Okay. Now, next pro tip. See how this is nice, cute, and condensed? It's what we call a condensed URL. You can click copy right here and it'll tell you at the top that it has been copied to your clipboard. If you use that for marketing, it is much easier to read. We always recommend using the condensed URL if you are going to put it on any of your marketing pieces. You also can create a QR code for it too. We also can help you create that QR code. If you need it, just let us know. But once you take this condensed URL and pop it up here in a tab, you'll notice it turns into one big ugly web address. So you can see it right here in the web address bar. It gets pretty long. So just FYI, we definitely recommend using that condensed. Let me get back to my command. the condensed URL right here to copy and use for any of your marketing. Because once again, when you put it in the website, it's going to go really long and ugly. Okay. All right. So if somebody was on a mobile device and they clicked that URL that we just dropped into a website, it should auto prompt them to download the app. Okay. It should just automatically take them to wherever they would download from, whether it be the App Store, um, or what have you. Now, if they're on a tablet, just FYI, sometimes right now it may not prompt. They may need to actually scroll down on this page and choose right here which app store that they want to go into. Okay. But this is what you're going to see when you go to this KW app URL. You will see that it's branded to you. You can tell right here by the name and the little photo of your headshot. If you do not see this here, that is a technical issue. Definitely reach out to us and we'll see if we can fix that for you. Okay. But you should be seeing your branding right here. And as we scroll down, again, we have the options to download. You can do it for Apple products or for Android products right here. And then you have a sign up option. Now, this is what you're going to hear me reference as a consumer login. The consumer is going to have their own personal login. This will also work for your website, like I was talking about just a few minutes ago. When they create this login, they can either sign up or log in. You'll notice it's right here, but it's also in the top right up here. And if I go back to the website, you'll also notice login, sign up, top right of the page as well. They can do that in any of these places. So when they create this consumer login, what it does is it's going to tie their contact information into your command account. They will populate under your command contacts. I'm going to show you that towards the end of class, and I'm going to show you where your Big Brother access kind of comes in and all the back end kind of stuff about it. But it will show them in your command account. Just a couple of quick tips about that. If the consumer comes in here and signs up with contact information that you already have within your command, then it will update the contact profile that you already have in your command database, which is great. That's perfect. Now, for some people that have multiple email addresses, I'm one of those people. I have an email address for everything, multiple ones. So they may come in here to your app or your website and log in and create a login with a different email address than you have on file for them in command. That's okay. It will create a duplicate because the system's not going to see them as the same person if they're using a different email address. If that is the case, and you happen to see a duplicate created within your command database, we recommend using the one that has the green check mark beside it that's letting you know that they are signed in to the app with that contact information. It's just going to make things work smoother. You want to make sure you're not missing any updates. So go ahead and move forward with the new contact profile that they've created by entering their information and just going ahead and deleting your former one or move over as much information you can before you delete it. Okay. That would be considered the duplicate now, the older one. All right. So there is that. Also, you can come in and create the login for your client as well, just as an extra concierge. Instead of them having to do it for themselves, you can actually sign them up and then reach out to them, send them an email and say, hey, I actually created you your own personal profile into, hold on one second. I'm sorry. I'm seeing a question in the chat. Oh, okay. I'm gonna keep moving. We have to watch for spammers, guys. So if you hear me stop for the chat, sometimes when we see a lot of information go into the chat, I'm just making sure we don't have a spammer in our room with us. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move on with class. So right here, we were getting back to the consumer login. You can create it for your client yourself. Just make sure to email them or text them the login that you've created for them. When you hit sign up, it's going to ask just for a few pieces of information, first name, last name, email address, and you can create a password for them. You do have to accept the terms and uses right here and then click sign up and it'll create that profile for you. So you would send them that information, let them know that they have their own personalized entrance and access to your app and your resources. And that would be great concierge that you can do for them. Okay. All right. And then now we're going to go and I want to show you the different features that the URL will do for you down here at the bottom before I log in and show you what it looks like once the consumer profile is created. So if I come down here, you can see that there's going to be a video on here that goes in a little more to what your app can do. We recommend checking that out sometime when you have an opportunity. And then down here for key features, right here, you have work with an agent on the left. These are all the features that are going to give value back to your consumers. You can collaborate. This is where they can communicate with you directly. I will show you how they can send messages, request showings. They can favorite properties and let you know which ones they are liking, all right here within the app. They also can do some custom searches of their own. They're going to be able to create saved searches, as well as you are able to create saved searches for them as well. If you know they're looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath with a certain square footage, you can create that as well as they can as well. They can also look through based on neighborhood too. The dynamic map and the know the place, or the get local, this used to be labeled as know the place. For these two things, it's pretty similar. It pulls from Google, so it's really accurate. And this is where they can go in and say, like, where's the closest Target or amusement park or church or school? Or maybe they don't want to be near any of those things. So they're actually looking for a property that is away from those. But they can go in here and pull that information from Google and then see what neighborhoods are nearby and what properties are listed nearby. Okay. And then anytime access. So while you want to seem like you are a 24/7 agent, you don't need to be awake 24/7, right? So this actually allows that client to be able to search your resources and through your app to see the most recent information on the market based on their schedule and their convenience. If they happen to work night shift and they're up in the middle of the night, they can still get on your app and they're still able to stay involved in their own search, no matter what time of day it is. Okay. And when you get up and get into command, or you have notifications set up on your command app, you will look under your notifications and be able to see if they've reached out to you or are trying to communicate with you in any shape or form. And I'll show you that at the end of class. You can also share information from this app. Let's say that you yourself have a listing that you want to show off. So you can actually come on your app and share that straight to a social platform, or text it to somebody, email it to somebody. And when they click on it, it will actually bring them straight back to you in your information, branded information to you. So it's a great way to share through that as well. It will help redirect that traffic to your listing and you as a real estate agent, which is pretty awesome. All right. So those are the features for your KW app. Again, this is the page that we got to by going to your KW consumer mobile app URL, that code that we got out of your consumer tab within command. So we've gone over all the ways to download it. We've gone over all the features of it. Now I want to show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you from the website view here first. You'll notice that it says log in and sign up on the top right hand corner. This means I'm not logged into a consumer profile yet. This could be anybody that comes across your website. If they haven't created a consumer login yet, this is what your page looks like. I just want to point this out because we get a lot of questions about it. There's a feed button right here. When you click on that feed and start to scroll down, you'll notice it keeps prompting them, sign up, log in, start searching, set up collections, and you'll notice some generic real estate information right here. Okay. So we get a lot of questions. Why is this on my website? Well, it's because the website just doesn't see it as branded to you just yet. That consumer needs to log in, and then all of this information will pull from their consumer profile, whoever they have their app branded to. It will pull that information, whatever saved searches they've set up, whatever collections have been set up, it will all start pulling into this feed once they've signed in. Okay, so for right now, the feed is generic and lets them and gives them prompts to start searches, but it's not your information currently right there. We do hope that that is adjusted once the website updates come out, hopefully this year. We were hoping for second quarter. We're thinking it might be a little later now that they've just launched so much new with the new onboarding. So, all right, so now we're going to jump in and I want to show you what it looks like once you log in. So I've created a demo account here. We're going to jump into that really quick. And again, we recommend you do this for yourself. Create your login. Remember, it's not going to see you as an agent. This is a completely different login from your command or anything like that. but go ahead and set it up. It's going to see you as a consumer, and you get to see what your consumers see, which is really handy dandy. All right, so here we go. Now that I am logged in, you can tell that it is now personalized and branded to me. I'm still on the website, and I've clicked on feed, and over here on the left, my saved searches are here. My collections are here. My neighborhood pulse is here. And I'm fixing to jump into each one of those things to show you in depth a little bit further. But I do want to show you on the app what this is going to look like. When they open the app right here, they do have feed at the bottom. So that first page, I'm sorry, the first page is a search. They can do their own search right here. They can even start clicking on houses. If they click this view right here in the top right, it's not going to be the map view anymore. It's going to be the houses. Looks more like the view that we were just seeing with the house and the listing price, etc. They can create their own saved search right here at the bottom. But if they click on their feed at the bottom, I want to show you what it looks like from the mobile app. It will tell them to start searching. If they have a saved search already set up, it's going to look just like this. They can sit here and scroll through houses. They can see the new updates, any open houses, any price changes. It also gives them the option to look at collections and neighborhood pulses as well. And I'm fixing to show you what those are in detail, but I just want you to be able to see on the mobile screen what it looks like. It's just condensed. Same thing as the website though. So right here, these are your saved searches. Saved searches are whatever criteria you set up for this buyer or that the buyer sets for itself. It could be location, it could be number of bedrooms, it could be a garage, it could be needs to have dedicated parking. Any type of specific criteria that is set up, it will capture as a saved search, it will capture the listings that are currently on the market that meet that criteria. That means that this search is not static. Even though the criteria may stay the same, as the houses come on and off the market, these homes that show under their saved searches will change. It will automatically update as the house goes off the market, if it comes on the market. Whatever it is, this does not have to be manually adjusted unless the buyer just changes their mind and decides, hey, I want to lower the price, or I want to try to see if we can move up to a 5-bedroom instead of a 4-bedroom. If that information changes, that's great. You can adjust that, and I'll show you where shortly. But I just want to make the point of saying this is not a static search. These houses will automatically update under the saved search option. Okay. A saved search can be set up by either the agent or the consumer. The consumer can set it up through their app, just like I was just showing you, but you as the agent can actually create a saved search for your client and consumer by going into their contact profile in Command. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that shortly. So you can set that up either way. The consumer can also log into the website just like we just did and actually set up saved searches from here. They can go to the saved search or the search bar right up here on the top left, start a new search, and it'll give them the option to save that. Okay. All right. So with these listings, when they populate, you can actually, the consumer can click on one of these listings, and I want to show you how cool it is, all the information that they're going to get. It gives them the quick guide right here at the top right. As you start to scroll down, you can scroll over for more photos if you want. You can even click on them and it'll pop it out. It's taking it a second to load, but you could sit here and scroll through photos like this as well. You can scroll down here a little bit further, offers you the virtual tour. Essentially, if the information is on MLS, it's going to be right here. You'll notice it did give us, as we scroll down the page, it started opening a new menu across the top for us. So we can quick click on the overview, neighborhood, commute times, nearby school, and what it'll cost. You also can see over here that it is still branded to our agent. I can click save, and what that's going to do is let me choose which collection I want to save this particular house to. I want it to go into Mandy's favorites. I can also leave a note about this home for myself and click save. And that means that when I go to collections in a little bit, I'll be able to see that house, and I'll tell you more about collections in a second. I can also share it directly from here. I can ask my agent a question. I can sit here. The fields are not required, by the way. I can just type my message right in here. Any more homes like this, something like that, and hit submit. I'm going to go ahead and do a test so I can show you later how this comes through into your command. It's going to thank me and let me know that that did go through successfully. And then I can also request a tour right from here. It's going to ask me to choose a few dates and times, whether morning, afternoon, evening. I can choose up to 3. And then if I go down, I can choose to either have an in-person showing or a live video where the agent goes on site, and then we'll either, well, you can choose between the platforms you want. I was going to say FaceTime or Facebook Messenger. You can even do it over Zoom like we are today. So any of these things right here, you can actually choose the preference, or your consumer can choose the preference, leave a message to you, and request the tour right here. Oops, I didn't choose the platform. There we go. And request the tour. It confirms that it went through. And now my agent, Taylor, will get a notification within her command that I just requested a tour. She'd also get a notification that I reached out to her with a question about this particular property. And if, again, it shows up in your command notifications, if you have the command app on a mobile device, you can adjust those notifications to give you notifications in real time if you would like to. Okay. So as we scroll down again, it just shows you more information about this particular listing. It even includes the new monthly payment calculator here for your consumers that is going to be listed on every single listing, no matter what they look up on here. There are some quick links to Keller Covered and Keller Home Loans, more properties that would be nearby, and another lead capture form at the very bottom to get information in case they were interested, in case they, let's say, shared this link with someone else. That way that person has an opportunity to enter their lead information here for you. All right. So that's what popping out one of the individual listings will look like on here. Now, I want to go over collections with you. Remember, we were saying saved searches are not static. The houses are going to automatically update. Well, with collections, it is static. And you'll see that it's showing no new updates within the last 60 days. Go ahead and click View Collections if you do get that pop up. And what it's going to show is a collections of homes. Now, you can make as many collections as you want. The agent can create the collections, and the consumer can create their own collection. But what that means is I've picked out a particular property and I want to hold on to it. I want updates about this one particular property, or as many properties as the consumer or agent chooses. These are the ones that you've put a heart by, that you've favorited. That means that they're going to sit over here in my collection no matter what the status is. Even if this property goes off market or under contract, has an open house, has a price change, whatever it is, it will stay right here in the collection until I remove it. You'll notice there's an edit pencil right here. So I could come in here and edit this. Okay. Um, oh, and let me point that out too. I can also edit as a consumer, and the agent can edit this, how often the consumer will get email updates about these properties, by the way. Okay. But I can create a new collection here. I can view the collection that we already have. This again is static. It will need to be manually adjusted. If that person no longer wants to receive information about this particular house, they can come in here and remove the heart from that. It'll ask you, are you sure you want to delete it? And you can delete it. You also have the ability to do this as an agent through your command, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay. All right. So that is collections as well. Again, the collections can be created through the app, website, or through command. And now I want to show you neighborhood pulls up here at the top. These do pull from the neighborhoods that are already on file for the contact profile in command. They can be added to by you, the agent, or the consumer. Okay, like right here, I can choose to view. These are already the neighborhoods that I'm following. You'll notice there's a long list. You can add as many as you would like. I'm following them, but I can also choose to unfollow. If I wanted to unfollow Paint Pony Ranch, I can click unfollow, and it lets me know at the bottom left, successfully unfollowed. Okay, if I want to come down here and view the neighborhood, we'll click on that, and it pops out the neighborhood for me. I also have another option to unfollow or follow. It gives me an aerial view of some of the properties that are being listed for sale in this neighborhood. Gives me stats, what the locals are saying about it. I love that it's a handmade culture, and they're mostly into gardening and outdoorsy. That's fabulous. Tells you the walkability of the neighborhood as well. When you go down, you see current stats and sold stats. These are all pulling from the MLS. And if you go down even further, again, it starts showing properties for sale in that area. what the locals are saying about this area. You can even get into transit and commute, nearby schools, and some places. I love this. It tells you the highlights in this particular neighborhood, restaurants, nightlife, cafes, and shopping, which is all very, very helpful. It even shows you nearby neighborhoods. And again, we've got that lead capture on the bottom just in case your consumer has decided to share this with someone else, or maybe you have. You've decided to share neighborhood stats with someone, maybe through text messages or email. Right. So I just wanted to make sure that you're familiar with that. They can be adjusted again by the agent or the consumer. Just know everything that we just went over with the safe searches, the collections, and the neighborhood pulses. Whenever a change is made, if the agent made a change within the command, it may take up to 72 hours to be updated on your KW Consumer mobile app. Same with a consumer. If a change is made on their end, it may take up to 72 hours to show adjusted. However, that's not the case when it comes to requesting showings or saving a search or asking you a question. Those are all immediate. We've not seen any delay in those. So that's the beautiful part. So I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. All right, so now we're going to jump in to the agent's side of things in command. This again was the consumer view. Let me show you real quick, actually. I want to make sure I've shown you this on your mobile app. Remember the mobile view? If you click feed at the bottom, it has save searches right here. It has collection updates and neighborhood pulse. So as you click through, again, see, it gives them the heart they can click. It shows if it was an agent pick or it was your pick. And then neighborhood pulse as well. It gives that same information. There's also a guide down here at the bottom, and I'm fixing to show you how to edit that within command. And you can also see the saved information here as well. It just gives a summary, saved collections, saved searches, saved neighborhoods. Okay. So on here, just to make sure I covered that as well on the top right, you know how we're in the feed where we're being able to see the saved searches, collections, and the neighborhood pulses. You also have a guide button right here, just like the mobile app does. And these are buying and selling guides. Pretty nifty. These can be totally customized by you. I'm going to show you how to do that. And the consumer can come through and actually, when they look at a particular part in the guide, let's say they want to look how much they can afford, they have the choice to come down here and mark this step as completed that they've gone through it. That will also update within your command. This is a good thing to keep an eye on. Maybe your buyer's telling you that they are not in any big hurry, but you notice they're flying through your buying and your selling guides. They're hungry. They're really into this. So you might want to have another conversation with them and really check the temperature of how soon they're looking to purchase. Same in reverse. If you know a buyer has some repair that they need to get done on their credit before they're able to buy, but yet they're on here and they're really getting ahead in the buyer's guide and jumping some steps, you may want to have another conversation with them just to help you bring value to them, be able to be that hand holder, that educator with them. So those are super helpful right here on your mobile app. Again, the saved searches, it just gives you that summary, just like we looked at on the mobile view is right here. Okay. The consumer will also have options just like that more feature on the app. They can click their initials right here in the top right. It shows their history, their account details, and they can even add a co-buyer. If they have someone that is purchasing with them, they can add this right here. Their apps will be linked together so they can see the same information. Pretty nifty. Let's go back into command now. I'm going to refresh clicking on the consumer tab here. And now remember, we just talked about Guide Builder and Collections. This is where they're located, right back here in your Consumer tab. The first two options are more for your website. These are just for your apps. Or if you're signed in as a consumer on your website, you can view them there. But we're going to click on Guide Builder, and this is where you as an agent can come in and make adjustments to them. You can personalize them as much as you want, the buying or the selling. You can click on either one of these, or you can come over here and grab the three dots to choose edit. Let's say we want to edit our buyer's guide first. give that a chance to open, I can sit in here and slide these steps up and down, put them in different orders if I would like. It does actually have an undo and a redo button. If I click on one, it will pop it out over the right-hand side. I can change the image, change my subtitle information. You can actually delete some of the steps as well. If I can scroll down just a hair, if it'll work for me here. My screen is freezing. Give me just a second. There we go. All right. So if I click on this and you can see the trash can, I can actually delete that and it will delete that step altogether for me out of that buyer's guide. Okay. And then you can choose to save searches on the right hand side. I'm going to go ahead and undo those changes so these stay like they should. Just know if I made some guide builder changes right here, this is what I'm talking about, may take up to 72 hours to be reflected. So your customized guide builders may take up to 72 hours to be reflected on your consumer app. Okay. All right, collections. Again, remember this is that static search. These are particular homes that have been sent to a buyer or a client through their consumer app. You can share them to social posts, whatever you choose to do, but you can come in here and create a collection for yourself and choose to send it to multiple consumers. You can also see the collections that have already been created right here. Again, 3 dots, you can edit or delete. You can also see the tile view if you'd like to see a preview of some of the homes that are within those collections instead of just seeing the table view. So this is where you would make the edits to those if you're wanting to actually create those for your client. Now, the ones they create using the app or using the website, you will not see those collections show up here, but you will see the ones you create to send out to consumers. Okay. All right. And so let's go to your contacts tab. So far we covered your guide builders and your collections. Let's go to the contacts tab. It's the second from the top over on the left. And I'm going to show you the information that you can see Big Brother style from your contacts database within Command. And I also want to show you how to create that saved search as well as the neighborhoods too. So you can affect that. Give it just a second to open here. We're having high winds today, folks. I apologize for it being slow on the internet. We're having some disruptions in service. There we go. All right. So we are in our contacts database right here. First thing I want to show you, see these notifications up here on the top right, these bells and the number that it's showing you? This is where your notifications would show up if they've requested a showing or they've asked you a question. So you can actually see right here, it actually let you know immediately that this particular contact even logged in to your agent's site. And so you have a hyperlink right here where I can go directly to that contact right away. I can even do that from the agent site notification, letting you know that a new contact form message was received from Mandy. This is where we put in that question to reach out to our agent. And the new tour request, you can even view that right here. It tells you the contact's name. It tells you the property that they were requesting the virtual tour for and gives you a quick link again right to that contact. Okay. So if I click here, I'll go immediately to the contact profile. But even if you don't look from your notifications, I want to show you how to find it from right here within your contacts tab. Okay. First thing that's going to be a giveaway is this little green check box within the circle. Okay. That check mark, excuse me, not check box, a check mark within the circle. This lets you know that they have created a consumer login to your mobile app. It will show up right there beside their contact information. That's letting you know that this particular contact profile has a consumer login. They are active on your website, okay? Or your mobile app right? The login works for both. So that will be your first giveaway. If you are working with a database more than the 7 that we have here, and you need to find the ones that have created your consumer login, easy peasy, you would just go right here to filters. Going to click that and you have the option right here, branded to me. If you click yes, this means that they've created a consumer login and they've branded their app to you. So we're going to hit apply and it pulls all the different people within the database that have created that consumer login, and their app, their information, their login is tied to this particular agent. So they will get all the updates right here. Okay. Another way to do that is you can customize your columns and actually look to see who has been recently active. I'm going to move that up to the top of our columns here and hit apply. And it shows us when they were last active on the app. Another great thing, if you know that you feel like you have a hot buyer and all of a sudden they're starting to ghost you and things aren't happening, you can come here. Are they still on your app? Are they still continuing their search? Or have they dropped off the face of the earth, right? So it's a good way to stay in touch, to see who has been recently active. You can actually sort by that too. If you want to start reaching out one morning, reaching out to people that have been less active on your app, but they used to be active, great way to check it right there. Okay. All right. You can also create a smart view from this. So let's go back. I'm going to clear this out really quick. Let me clear all my filters and apply. And I want to say branded to me. Yes. So I'm going to apply that particular filter. These contacts come up right here that are branded to me. I can create a smart view, which means I don't have to sit here and filter every time I want to see the folks that have been branded on my app. I can come right here and choose smart view. And if I scroll to the top, I have the option to create a smart view. Whatever filters I have set right there in that moment, it will save those and create the smart view for me. So we're going to create a smart view and say KW Consumer App. We can set it as the default smart view, which means it would show every single time I come into my contacts database. I don't necessarily want it for that, but I do want it as a smart view. So I'm going to hit save smart view. And now it's saved. So I can click off onto another tab, click back over to contacts, and hopefully this won't take it too long to load. There we go. And so now it's pulling up my regular database. I'm going to come to Smart View and I can scroll down to the one that I just created, Smart View KW Consumer App, and click that. And it'll pull up the contacts that have been branded to me. Great news, this will auto update. As more leads start creating consumer logins on your KW mobile app, they will automatically start populating in this search as branded to you. Okay, so it's a great way to filter them out through your contacts. Okay, all right. Then let's jump into one of these contacts. The login we were using today was for Mandy, so we're going to jump into that one. All right. So now that we have her contact open, you can see right over here in the timeline all the things that she's been doing on the app. If I scroll down a little bit, you can see where she logged in, she logged out. And this is, it feels weird talking about myself in third person. I'm just going to say me since I'm Mandy. So you can see the date and the time that this person or that I logged in and logged out as a consumer. Usually I use Joe Bob as an example, and today I've been changing it up so my verbiage is a little off. But you can see where I viewed a listing, where I viewed a collection. It actually has a hyperlink to the properties. I can give that a click and it'll open right here for me. That's easy peasy. If you have a client looking at a property and they've requested a showing or anything like that, you can easily hit the button, come over here, familiarize yourself with the property they were looking at, and then come back over here into your command to keep viewing the information. It says that the user contacted the agent. And so right here, see, there's my message. I put test in as my question. So it lets you see the message right away, right here. Same for requesting a tour. It lets me know that it's actually a video tour. It's not an in-person showing. Lets me know the address, also know the time that they requested the showing. And I can view the request right here to see the time frame that they actually want to see it. Okay, it lets me know the platform and the little note that they added as well. Another hyperlink to view that listing just to make it easy peasy too. Okay, so you can see all of this information right here within your timeline and see their activity. Okay, on the left hand side, you will see neighborhoods. This is where you can add additional neighborhoods. If they are filled in green with white writing, that means the agent, you added them right here within the contact and command. If they are white with dark writing, that means that the consumer themselves added it, whether it was on the app or the website. I need to clear my throat, sorry. And so right here, you can click add neighborhood. I can type it in, or I can choose to find on a map. I can still type in for a certain location if I want, but I can zoom in and out of this map using the control key and my mouse. Just scroll in and out and see the areas that are outlined in green and shaded. If I hover over them, it's telling me the neighborhood names just like that. And I can click on them and choose that I want that information. You'll see they start populating down here at the bottom. If you happen to click one you don't want, easy peasy, just unclick it or come down here and hit the X as well. But these are how you can choose additional neighborhoods. Maybe they're moving across country and they want information on neighborhoods over there. That's great. Enter the information right here, go grab some neighborhoods from there, and then they can start getting updates based on that. So that's a great way that you can adjust what they see in neighborhood pulses, right? And then also, I want to make sure that I'm showing you how to set up a saved search. Over here on the far right, you'll see saved search listed. There is already one created for this particular profile. Saved searches are particular to a single consumer. Okay. Currently, there is not a way to create a saved search for multiple consumers at this time. You can, however, create that collection and send it out to multiple people, okay? But for saved searches that would update automatically where they would get email updates about these particular properties as frequently as they would like, as much as instant, then they would need to be set up either through this by the agent in command or by the consumer through the app like I showed you. So with this one, you'll notice that I don't have the ability to edit or delete this. It's because it was created from the consumer side. Okay, so you can see that that consumer has created that search, but I can also come in here as an agent and click create saved search right here. And I want to show you what all this involves. It's pretty great if command will cooperate today. All right. So you can search by city. You have a little drop down right here. I can search by neighborhood, zip code, city, whatever I would choose. I'm going to do zip code. We're going to go right here and type in a zip code. You'll notice again, it's pulling some results. This information pulls from Google. And so I've got the zip code. I can add multiple if I want. It's whatever you choose to do right here. Price minimum and maximum. I can say that they want a pond, pool, deck, porch, garage, gate, or a garden, and specify that. You can get into the property type as well and the listing status. You can get into the beds and the year built. Gives you some living area information, and you can do has parking, open house only. If someone's looking just to be able to visit open houses, you can create a saved search for them just to view the open houses in a particular area, which is pretty great. And then also if they're looking for deals, they want to see which prices were reduced in the last 7 days. You can create them a saved search for that. This is also a great substitution, guys, for having to set up your clients. Like if you kept them in command for your marketing, but yet you were having to set up MLS searches so that they would see the most recent searches that way. And now you've got two different databases that you're having to go in and out of all the time. That's how it was for me back in the day when I was a realtor. And that was a lot, especially if you're working with a large database. So this is going to prevent you from having to go over to that MLS portal and create hot sheets and things like that for your clients. You can do it all right here, one-stop shop for you. And I recommend set yourself up on them so that you're familiar with your market. Make sure, especially if you've got a listing, set that seller up on a saved search so that they can see the competition as it's moving on and off the market. And they want to see which one's holding an open house, who's had a price reduction, who's having or who's gone under contract. This is a great way for them to keep a pulse on that without you having to come in and spend time every day making sure you're keeping eyeballs on everything. If you've got 25 listings, some days you might not have the time to sit down and study the neighborhood for every single one of those 25 listings. But this will do it for you. So definitely leverage this. So as you set up your criteria for the saved searches, hit next. It's going to make you title it. We're just going to put test for hours. It does show the primary email that is on file on this contact profile for that particular contact, and that is who it would be sending it to. You'll notice the note. If you need to edit that, it needs to be edited on the contact profile itself, not within this window. Okay. And let's say they do want email notifications. It gives you options. It can be instant, daily, weekly, biweekly, or monthly. Let's say this is a hot buyer. They're ready to go. I'm going to set them up with instant emails. Sometimes that can be a lot for people if they're really not as ready to purchase or sell as they initially claimed. Sometimes it can be a lot of emails. And so you can come in here and adjust this as needed. But we're going to go ahead and create that save based on the information we've put in. And you'll notice it's right here listed under the save searches within the contacts tab. And on the right hand side, you'll also notice now I do have editing power and deleting power for this particular save search because it was created from the agent's perspective within command. Okay. So I just want to make sure that you're familiar with that. Um, Also, let's talk about when you've come in here and you've created a consumer, a saved search for one of your clients. Now, I could have come in here and let's say, actually, let's back out to contacts. I want to make sure I'm super clear about this. So I'm going to back out here and go to one of my smart views where I know this contact is listed. So, okay. So for these particular contacts, again, remember if it has the check mark green, they already have a consumer login. Well, let's say Pablo, I'm setting him up on a saved search. He's just told me he's pre-qualified, pre-approved, whatever, and we're ready to go. He's a hot buyer and I want to set him up on a saved search. Well, I can come in here to his profile and set up a saved search for him. It will let me do that completely. He will even get an email saying that he has been set up on a saved search, that he will start getting emails for that. However, if Pablo does not create a consumer login to the app or to the website, that's the last email he's going to get. None of the saved search emails will come through to him because the system does not see him as essentially verified. He hasn't created that login. And if he doesn't do that, then it as a courtesy, will not send out any saved search emails until that consumer has shown some kind of consent that they are okay to receive those emails. You can get around this by creating, as concierge, you can create that consumer login for your client. You would just go to your website, which is the easiest way. You would come to your website up here. And if you weren't signed in, let's go ahead and sign out. And it shows you the login and sign up buttons right here at the top. I could sit here and sign up as many clients as I want back to back, log in, log out, log in, log out, and just send them their sign in. Um, then they will receive their saved searches. So just make sure that the consumer has actually created that consumer login and or logged in themselves. And that way they will continue to receive those saved search emails. Okay. That's one of the common questions we get is why are the saved search emails not going out? Well, chances are they may have never logged in. Okay. All right. Let's make sure that I had, oh, another just little quick tip. These email updates that go out through saved searches, they don't go towards your monthly allowance for Command Mail or MailChimp. They're totally uncounted for. You don't pay for them. Send out as many as you need, which is fabulous. Okay. So just to review, I think I saw a question about where this information feeds from. It feeds from your marketing profile up here on the top right. If you see any information in your app or on your website or on your marketing period through command that you don't feel is correct, you can always come right up here to your name and your profile and go down to settings. When you click on settings, it's going to open the back office to your command right here. It's opening onto the integrations page. And I'll show you how to get to your marketing profile from here. I'm not going to go into super in depth on this. We pretty much cover this in every single class that we teach. Plus, there is a quick tech tip video on our YouTube channel. Highly recommend checking it out. It's called Marketing Profile. Just look up that keyword and it will show you how to fill out your marketing profile and make sure it's correct for you. Right here under Connect Settings on the left, choose Marketing Profile. This is what feeds out to all of your marketing through command, including your KW app, including your website. This is where you can make sure that your name is showing up properly, your license number, your slogan, your bio. You can scroll down even more, make sure your phone number is correct, make sure your market center is correct. And also make sure that your legal footers are there and your social links. You can link those so that there is a hyperlink on all of your marketing to get directly to your social media platforms or profiles. Okay. Pro tip right here for your website, make sure that you have the HTTPS before your email or before your website URL. This will make it a hyperlink. Whenever a consumer is looking at it on any piece of marketing, it will be a hyperlink that they can one click and it'll go right directly to your website. Again, remember, it does not include www dot. A lot of websites don't use that anymore, including the KW agent websites. It does not need www in front of it, but having this little piece in front of it makes it a hyperlink. So definitely pay attention to that. All right, guys, that is it for our KW Consumer mobile app. I know that was a lot of information. If you are here with me live, stay put. I will be happy to answer the questions that have been put in the chat. If you're watching this back on recording again, you can reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we're happy to help you. Thank you for watching.